All right.
I'm sorry.
So,
I'm already high.
I'm loving
just
so, question for to that is your character a dog person or a cat person, and why?
well, I think that's obvious for bras.
Yeah, cat, duh. Because I mean, orange voice. The reason you need.
Scorch is now sad.
I was
Well,
gonna
no,
say
no,
it's obvious.
I really do love dogs. I just love cats so much. Hey, I didn't pick Scorch. It kind of just happened.
Exactly. He picked you.
We definitely needed each other. I love him very much.
Oh
I feel
man.
like an asshole.
Scorch will remember this.
I'm getting bit in the butt at some point.
Yep. All right, Maz. How about you?
Um, Moz likes toads.
That isn't one of the options.
Well, your options are dumb.
Uh,
I I think that Moz prefers dogs because she just likes that they're kind of derpy cuddle buddies and will do whatever she says, whereas cats have a lot of attitude and she just can't handle talking to herself.
Mm-hmm.
Like she is between the two personality types, she would be a cat. So she's like, I don't want to be around other cats. We suck.
All right. How about you, Hunker?
Cat person for those reasons.
Hmm.
Because we suck.
Yeah, and I like talking to myself, So
Makes sense. All right. Okay.
what is Honker but an orange cat with brain cells?
Right. Okay. So, does anybody remember what we got up to around here last time?
There was a lot of weird stuff.
There was a lot of weird stuff.
I think we started in the stables.
Yes.
I know we set the horses free, and there was like a bunch of bodies that became like a big old skelly dude.
Yep.
And then there was the creepy children that wanted to play hide and seek.
Yep. And you guys ditched them.
And then
We fought
went.
toad people.
Yeah, we went and there's like two toad people like watching these people like I don't know if they were dancing or like acting in a play like against their will.
Bit of both.
We killed
Yeah.
the toads.
Like a ballet.
Yep. Yeah, so that's pretty much where we left off here. There were the big kind of elder versions of these Brugadatches that we've been running into. But yeah, you freed the performers that have been kind of stuck on the stage doing this nonsense play for who knows how long. Possibly like a week and a half. And you also found out that the owners seem to have died because you had mentioned some of the stuff that you found.
Oh, right. It was like the ring and like her red hair or whatever. And we
Yeah.
were like, oh,
Yeah, some of the items that you had picked up from the body pile out in the stable were some things that belonged to them, and so it sounded like they had died already from whatever the fuck happened here. But yeah, otherwise there's still plenty of building to poke around in. There's the second floor as well as the other stuff on the first floor, because we pretty much just popped in the western door there. and came right into the theater in the middle. So, from where you guys are, of course, we have another door leading out to the east, and then there's a door up on the stage as well that leads, presumably to a backstage type area. And the door, of course, you guys came in through back into a hallway.
And then on the east side here, or the west side, excuse me, that all like individual rooms.
Yeah. So in the hallway there were like a series of doors, that you guys saw along the western wall there. You assume they're probably individual rooms. You haven't looked into them, but
Should we maybe clear those first, you guys think?
Probably.
Okay.
I mean, these guys were like rich, so we could find some good stuff.
Okay. All right, so you guys head back out into the western hall. You guys are starting at the top there, looks like.
Yeah. And I'm gonna make sure to have my club just out, just in case. I don't really want to blow these rooms up, so I'm not gonna have any like bombs ready.
All right, so you are standing in the hallway here, kind of preparing yourself to go through the door. And just as you're about to open the door, it opens, and you see, a human. Looks from what they're wearing, it looks like they're kind of wearing some sort of like staff-looking outfit, like wait staff-looking outfit. They look very emaciated, much like the ones that were on the stage that you guys had freed already. But they open the door and they come walking out. And it seems like they were in the middle of like laughing or talking to someone who was behind them in the room. They're carrying a platter with what looks to be the remains of food of some kind. But they open the door and they kind of see you standing there, and they say, "Oh, are you here to gamble here at Fortune's Hall? Excuse me, I must take these back."
Yeah, no worries, man. I'll like kind of peek past him into the room.
So you look into the room and you see that there seem to be a few people in there. They seem to be, fairly normally dressed. Again, they also look pretty emaciated. But despite this, despite their appearance, like there's these platters of like food on the table that they seem to be partaking of. They seem to be, placing bets. Like these ones are playing a card game. And they seem to be having aside from the way they look, like they're acting fairly normally, like they're having a grand old uh, gambling time in here. The guy
So
with the
besides the whole emaciation, they're having fun.
It seems like it, yeah. The guy who was like carrying the platter with like remains of stuff, he kind of moves off down the hallway to the south. Seems to be having some trouble walking, probably from the emaciation aspect. But he doesn't really seem to take much notice of it, and it just seems to be kind of going about his business.
Can you hand me the dip?
Okay, well, I guess if there don't seem to be any immediate distress, move on to the next room.
Okay. So you crack open the next door here, and this, again, seems to be more of the same. The people in here are pleasant. They're in the middle of a dice game. They ask if you want to join in, and they don't seem to acknowledge anything odd going on. They're eating whatever it is they're eating. It looks like, appears to be, you know, high-end food of some kind, but again, they also look emaciated. But they just seem like they're having a good time.
It troubles me, but I don't really have any solutions for it at the moment. All right, I guess let's just keep looking.
All right. All right. This door, once again, is another gambling room. More people playing with dice, eating more of this mysterious but delicious smelling food. Seems like all these are the gambling rooms of the place.
Okay, what do you guys think?
Well, maybe we could ask them who's making them gamble.
You think these ones are being controlled too? What if they gave in on their own?
No, probably everybody in here is being controlled.
What
This is
if
like a
it's like the
paradise
two
for them.
guys that were on the stage and they just like have no idea what's been going on and and that's why they're like so hungry because they've just been like basically asleep for 2 weeks.
All right, I guess we'll ask somebody
Okay.
who's making them gamble.
Okay. All right. So you step up to one of the people here who's, in the middle of, rattling some dice in a container here. And he says, "What do you mean? It's Fortune's Hall. It's what we all came here for, right? Gambling, pleasure, pastimes.
Well,
It's kind of the whole point of the place, right?
well, sir, no disrespect, but you kind of look like you haven't eaten in a very long time.
What are you talking about?" And he grabs like a leg of, looks like chicken or something off of this plate in front of him and eats some of it. He's like, "I've been eating great this whole time. Fortune's Hall is a delight. This has been such a wondrous experience."
All right, so the food's messed up. Wonderful.
When was the last time you left?
Left? I mean, I can't really say I keep track of time around here. Think they put clocks in the gambling room?
That would be silly.
I mean, we just came here by the carriage. And, once we got here, we joined in the fun with the gambling here. And all this delicious food, they just keep coming.
Okay, but like what if we told you that the reason we're here is because the carriage hasn't been able to come up here for 2 weeks? So, like, if you took the carriage up here, then you've been gambling for 2 weeks straight.
Yeah, that's just absurd. I mean, we've been sitting here, we've been having all this food, and it's been absolutely wonderful. They're like, you're saying that something strange is going on? Like, we've been having the time of our lives.
Okay, I give up on this, dude. If he dies, he deserves it at this point.
Wow. You go so quick.
Damn.
Was that
All right,
mean?
then.
No, it's not like he has a business or something we can invest in. Fuck this guy.
We don't know that. He might.
Saving people solely for the investment opportunities.
Carolina worker, everywhere.
Braz, did you ever think you were going to be the moral compass of the group?
Oh no.
Look, we all know when Grotus isn't here, shit gets weird.
True, Braz gets a little unhinged when Grotus isn't here.
Yeah, you do. I don't know why.
Someone's got to be the talky one, and clearly when it's me, I go weird.
Look, Braz never wants to be on these adventures. She's been in and out.
Should have stayed home today.
Oh man.
Arnold. All right. Yeah, they don't seem to be willing to acknowledge anything's odd's going on. They've been having a great time. Party never stops. Fun never stops.
Oh, I wish I could say I was always having fun too. All right, moving on with our lives. I guess let's go somewhere else.
All right.
I guess. Take the door that's the back of the stage there.
Back at the stage. Okay. All right. So you head up onto the stage and kind of push the curtain
Thank God
aside
Sam's
a
here.
little bit.
Oh, thank
And
God.
hello. Oh, that's not Sam.
Oh.
Hi.
Oh, I just saw somebody pop in. I'm like, oh, saved.
Haha, trick.
All right,
We're
Goose.
busy. Move along, sir.
We're in the middle of a Pathfinder game.
All right, nice talking.
See you, Goose.
No, I'm kidding.
I mean, you can hang out if you want. I don't care.
No, I didn't know what was happening. I heard the call for democracy, but
Oh, yeah.
ain't no thing.
Elsewhere.
All right. So, Braz, you head up and you kind of push the curtain aside and head into the door at the back of the stage here. And you find yourself in kind of a backstage storage area. There's a few kind of tables in here and, racks with costumes and props for plays and musical acts and stuff. Looks like a dressing room. It seems like it has been, a little bit gone through. Do you kind of search around in here and see if there's anything?
Yeah, what's the hat situation?
The hat situation. Okay, give me a perception check.
Always making me roll perception for hats.
The hats must be.
Give me a hat check. Okay. So you look around and you're kind of digging around in the stuff that's been tossed a little haphazardly around in here. And you do find a case that hasn't been opened. And written on it, you see in kind of a nice script, Nalvin's Stage Magic. This was kind of... you found it a little bit like tucked under one of like the tables here. It was a little dusty. It seems like it might have been like forgotten about or something at some point. But you crack open the case, and it contains a sheet of thin vellum that is studded with tiny diamonds and looks pretty fanciful. Might be worth something. And you also find a interesting small silver bit of wire. And you kind of take a close look at it, and you see that seems to be something etched into, like, writing of some kind, like, etched into this, like, thin silvery wire. You're not entirely sure what it does or what it means right off at first glance, but seems intriguing.
Are you telling me I need to put my reading glasses on?
You might need to. If you do, you could say doing, like, an Arcana or something.
All right, I'll put my readers on.
All right. So Hold on, let me get these into the party sheet here for you guys. Okay. So you take a look over this, and from what you're able to make out from your knowledge of arcane things, there seems to be a inscription related to an invisibility spell on this. And you find that, like, you're messing with this, you're kind of looking around at it, and you notice that, like, when you kind of activate it, the thin silvery wire kind of wraps around the edges of, like, your chest piece or like whatever kind of top you're wearing right now, and you disappear. You turn invisible.
Okay, that's actually really cool.
Hunker, did you eat her?
No, I don't eat, remember? She's not inside of me yet.
I'll take it off and repeat her.
All right. So you pop this back off, bros. You poof back into existence here.
Wow, and Moss doesn't even acknowledge it.
Oh, I did. I whispered.
Oh, I think the noise cancellation of your microphone didn't pick up your whisper.
Oh. I went, oh! And then I was like, how did you even do that?
I found this really cool bracelet thing.
Oh my god.
So
We're gonna have to cause so many pranks with that.
So in the party sheet, the fade band is that particular item, if you're wanting to yoink that, and then the diamond studded sheet is the very fanciful sheet of thin vellum that was in there as well.
I'm gonna take a closer look at that.
Okay. You take a closer look at it. Nothing particularly out of the ordinary, aside from it being pretty ornate. It just seems like a real fancy fucking sheet. Probably for dramatic effect.
All right, this might be worth something. Moss, put this in our cold bag.
Awesome. I was gonna look around the room that she is currently in.
Going to the east? Okay. All right, so you head into the next room here. Both the door going in on the west, there was a sign on it that said performers only. And you go in here, and this room seems to be a dressing room of sorts. There's some nice couches in here, and a vanity, and some other kind of storage. But this also seems pretty gone through. You don't see anything particularly of note.
Maz wants to look for cool clothes.
Okay, roll me a
Yeah,
perception.
I'm disappointed I didn't get a hat in the other room.
I know. Can't always be hats. If anything, you have a cool hat accessory.
What? Can I hero point that?
I mean, it's still a 20.
It's a nat 1.
I don't think...
With a plus 19.
I mean, Pathfinder works on ranges of critical failures and successes. But yeah, I mean, you do look around, and don't find anything of particular note. Like, there's random bits of clothing and other things, but nothing that stands out as particularly unique. Just a bunch of junk. And there's a doorway to the south.
Okay. Maz gonna go in.
All right.
I don't know what the red line is.
Well, you're going to find out in a moment, because you walk out of this door and you find yourself in another hallway, Partway down the hallway to the south of you is a curtain of some kind that is going across the hall. You see a sign on the door you just came out of that also says performers only. There is a door heading to the east of you, and then a little bit to the south, just before the curtain, is another door that seems to go into another room here. And there's kind of a stank emanating from that door.
I have a bad feeling about this, Bros.
Yeah, too late now. We're in.
What
What do you think, Honker? Should we follow the stink?
That Scrotus always says, when you follow the stink, you have a good night.
Seems like good advice.
This seems like something Grotus would say, yeah.
Maz is gonna listen at the door before we do anything to see if she can hear anything in there, or
Sure.
if the stink might just be dead bodies.
Sure, roll me another perception then. Okay. All right, so you listen at the door. Don't hear anything in particular, nothing moving around, nothing at all. You hear the wood of the door.
Well, we might have some dead bodies on the other side of this door.
Well, that wouldn't even be the first time today.
Yeah.
Oh
it
boy,
seems
here
to
we
be
go
the theme of
again.
the day. We should hit the reset button.
No, excuse me, DM. That should be. Oh boy, here we go again.
All right, so are you opening the door?
Sure am, boss.
All right, you open the door, and inside here you find a pretty large kitchen. Seems to be, well put together, well stocked. And the smell that hits you as you open the door, in particular, is rotted food. So looking around in here, you see there were baskets and things of fruits and other things, vegetables that have all spoiled. There are you try looking in kind of ice boxes. There's some puddles on the floor where the ice of the ice box is kind of melted out. And in there is things like fish and other meats and stuff, and those have all spoiled. Uh, Everything in here doesn't look too great, and it doesn't look like it's been, recently used at all. Like the ovens aren't on, like there's no fire going, anything like that. It's just kind of cold and stank in here, which, kind of raises the question of where all the fucking food's coming from.
Man, I was really hoping those toads were gonna be the last thing we needed to do here.
Please, we're not that lucky at all.
There is a door leading to the south out of here, and then of course there is the other door out of the east in the hallway where you guys just were.
Um, Maz wants to check to see what's out this door before we go to what she is assuming is the outside.
Okay. So, out here, you find yourself kind of in an extension of that north-south hall. You see a couple doors here in front of you. They're both kind of ajar, and you can see, just kind of looking through the gap, these appear to be restrooms. Pretty fancy ones, actually. Like it looks like the floors are marble, and you can see the kind of glint of like the countertops in there, which seem to be gold. So they look very luxurious, as you would kind of expect in an upscale sort of gambling pleasure establishment sort of place.
That's the fanciest toilet I've ever seen.
You know, it very well might be.
No, it definitely is the fanciest toilet Roz has ever seen.
I
I
mean,
mean,
pretty
pretty
sure
sure we're lucky if we see a toilet, so.
Probably
You
a lot of squat
know, that is
toilets.
also fair. Yeah, you guys are probably very accustomed to the old tree squat. Or bush squat, rather. Yeah, this is some ritzy shit. Otherwise, there's a pair of double doors heading to the south, similar to the double doors that were at the south end of the hall on the other side of the theater. And then you also see the door that leads back into the central large theater area.
What do you think? Should we
go
go
out
out
these
these
double
double
doors, or
doors,
should
or
we
should
go
we go
back
back and go out that one door before we got to the kitchen?
Let's listen at the double doors.
Okay. All right. Browse, give me perception down there at the double doors. All right. You listen at the door here. You do hear uh, movement on the other side. Um, somebody walking around. You also kind of hear some clinking, perhaps of plates or silverware, that sort of thing. Um, but aside from that, nothing specific. Just kind of general movement sounds.
Is there like a space under the door I can try to look under?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So you get down on the floor and try to peek under the door a bit. Like there's a little bit of room. Kind of get a rough approximation of things from that level. When you get down there, you can smell food, kind of slowly wafting through the gaps in the door, and looking across the floor because you don't have the best angle here. You see what looks like perhaps some chairs and tables, the legs of them, and you see some pairs of feet that are definitely not human feet. They appear, that somewhat amphibious look as some of the things you've seen around in here before. Um, you also see, uh, you do see a pair of human feet kind of making their way across the floor. They seem to be heading away back to the west. And you kind of think back to what you saw earlier and assume it's probably that waitstaff guy, because they do seem to be kind of shuffling a bit.
Okay. Seems like there's a bunch of toad guys in there. I don't think we should go in there quite yet.
Okay, well then let's explore that other door we found.
Okay. All right. So you head back to the north through the curtain in the hallway and pop out the door to the east and find yourself kind of in a backyard sort of area behind this. There's a kind of a small, simple fence kind of outlining right around the door here, and there's a flight of stairs that looks to go up to the north to a landing and then goes up further around the corner. And there also are a few small outbuildings you can see from here, just kind of arranged in kind of an arc behind the building. Just small, square um, little structures.
Mine's just gonna go up the stairs.
Okay. All right. So you head up the back stairs, and at the top, you find a door, which, when you mess with it, uh, seems to be locked. You do see a small sign on the door that says private.
Um, Maz listens out the door to see if she can hear anyone in there.
All right. Percept ahoy. You do not hear anything.
Okay, and then I also am going to pick the lock.
Okay. Give me a thievery check. All right. So, Maz, you kind of fiddle with the door here a bit with your thieves' tools and do manage to pick the lock. And you crack open the door once you get the lock picked.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's gonna slowly open it and peek in.
Okay. All right. You see a hallway. Seems to extend to the south for a ways. Just scooting you guys over there. If you didn't see where your token went, kind of go to this bottom right corner of the map we're currently looking at.
I see it.
Okay. So yeah, there's a hallway that extends for a ways to the south. Nothing really in it. There's some lights, of course, but otherwise nothing too crazy going on. And there are 2 doors to the east, and then 1 door at the far south end of the hall.
She's gonna try and open this door.
All right. The door is not locked, so
Okay, she's gonna go in.
okay. All right, so in here, you find yourself in a pretty nice little parlor. There's some graceful wooden end tables. There's some landscape paintings on the walls with some kind of interesting looking vistas with tall trees and colorful meadows. One of the couches, the one kind of just to the south of the door, has been torn open and its stuffing has been removed, and it's kind of piled, directly south of you as you open the door in the shape of a big nest looking shape made out of couch stuffing. And you also see in here, as you've interrupted when you opened the room, there is a odd looking creature that you don't recognize that seems to be in the pile of stuffing. And then in the middle of the room, you see a couple of these amphibious creatures. Not the big chunky ones, but like the kind of more people-sized ones that seem to have been in the process of like trying to play with this creature in the nest. And upon you entering the room here, they are both kind of startled by you appearing here, and they try to command. Like they seem to shout something in a language you don't understand at the creature in the nest. And everybody roll them up. Let me see. I'm pretty sure they have a picture of these things here. Ah, here we go. That is what is in the nest. Big funky bird looking thing.
I hate it.
And then if you don't recall what the other guys look like.
Oh, I do.
Well, we're going to bring it back.
Why do you have to torture me?
All right, let me get Scorch and Grotus up here, who will... I'll take care of Grotus. Let's see, let me get this thing up here. Grotus. Initiative. Let's see. And you already got Scorch. Okay, cool. All right. So, top of the order here with, conveniently, Maz.
Okay.
This bird thing should be here.
Regarding your life choices?
Now, the bird thing is decently tall, definitely taller than you. And it looks at you and lets out kind of like a...
Okay, so I wasn't expecting to go first.
Well, you opened the door.
That is true. You did open the door.
Look, I don't need to be accused of poor choices here. This is
I'm not
supposed to be a
accusing you.
safe
I'm telling
space.
you what you did.
This is supposed to be a safe space.
I am holding you accountable.
Oh, man.
So Maz, because she's awesome and she's a sneaky bitch. This is no one's reacted yet, so it's a surprise attack, and they're flat-footed to me.
That's true. Yeah, nobody's taking any actions. That's true.
So I must sneak attack this gross fey creature. Which I think is 5d6. I thought I put this in my sheet at one point.
Let me see if I can find it.
No, I didn't put it. I was gonna make like a cantrip to essentially be my sneak attack.
That's a good idea.
We're level 11, so yeah, it's 5d6.
Okay.
We're level 12.
What? Well, it only goes up at 5, 11, and 17.
Well, you didn't say that part.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. All right. So you peek in the store. Everybody goes, ah! And you just kind of whip out your... Is this with your rapier or something else that you're...
Yeah, this is with the brilliant rapier.
Okay. So you just kind of open the door, peek around, startle people, and go... and just jab them with this. All right, let's see. That was 2. The one that was right next to you.
Yeah.
All right, let me put that damage in there for you manually.
And I think because of that I can use twist the knife as my second action.
Ooh, what does that do?
After stabbing my opponent in a weak spot, so because they're flat-footed to me, and it was a sneak attack, I tear the wound open and it deals persistent bleed damage to the target equal to the number of sneak attack damage dice, so 5.
Wow, nice. Brutal little bitch. Slash.
Hold on.
What are you trying to look up?
I'm trying to change this
Okay.
so it does the right one.
All right, well, I put the damage for that on him already, so if you do get that sorted out, feel free to um, do the effect application if you wish. But otherwise, I got that in there. What do you want to do for your third?
So you want me to wait to do it?
No, if you do it now, that should still be fine. Because I think it ticks on their... Yeah, that should tick on their turn.
Oh, I guess that also triggered my debilitating strike.
Oh, what's that do?
I can choose from any debilitation I currently am have. So let's see. That would just be rude.
I mean, being rude's kind of the point. You've already stabbed a guy and slashed him. I think you're beyond the point of worrying about if you're being
So one
rude.
of my
There's
debilitations is 3d6 persistent bleed.
Damn, just gutting some guy. Jesus.
walk into a room and gutting somebody. Wow.
As you do.
Okay, hold on.
Jesus.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Doesn't look like anything happened, so you're good.
Oh, maybe it can't stack bleeds then.
I don't know why it wouldn't. Let me look that up really quick. Let's see. Pathfinder does bleed stack.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I can't figure out how to change it. Oh, there it is.
Let's see.
Oh, it does say already exists.
Okay, yeah, from what I'm seeing, looking it up with persist. So if they're persistent damages of different types, so like if he was bleeding and then Braz lit him on fire, that would work. But it looks like with ones of the same type, it would be like the persistent damage of whichever the higher persistent damage is. So like currently he's taking 5. So if it's not more than 5, it would just stay at 5. So it looks like the example it gave here was like if someone was taking 2 persistent acid and then took 3 persistent acid, they would now be just taking 3 persistent acid total. So it seems it just works that way with that. But so yeah, we'll just leave the bleed that he's got on him. Then it sounds like.
Okay.
Does it say the
then
debilitating strike takes an action, or is that its like own?
it's just a class feature, and it
Okay, so
doesn't
it
say
just happens when you do that. Okay.
Yeah. So instead of that, I'll just do stupefy 1.
Okay.
And then for my final one, I will just attack again with my rapier.
All right.
Oh, that didn't work.
There you go. That is a hit. Go ahead and roll them up. Nice. All right.
I feel like that took a very long time. I'm sorry.
All right. So that brings us to the bird. So the bird lets out this strange call, specifically an ululating crime, which, if you don't know what ululation is, it's when something's like. So he lets out a weird crime, and everyone, let's see, what's the radius on this? Everyone looks like. So get everybody targeted here. Okay. All right. So Maz, Braz. Wait, is it everybody? Oh boy.
Oh, I don't like how you said that.
Well, like that. Since it rolled so many things, it has to say failure, failure. Okay, no, Braz, no. Braz succeeded. Okay, Braz succeeded. Hunker critical failed.
Yeah, I
Maz
did.
failed. The Fae failed. The other Fae also critical failed.
Wait,
Okay.
I'm sorry. Was this audible? Like this thing that happened?
Yeah, yeah. So you are.
Wait,
Oh, yeah. I think you
can
have
I
a
do
thing
the
with that.
thing? Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, I'm sorry.
All
I
good.
didn't hear that was audible, but can I do the thing?
You can do the thing. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I
Okay.
remember this. Okay, so yeah, go ahead and do your thing since this is audible. Because like you're kind of just like outside the open door, and you hear, you've heard Maz kind of going at something, starting some shit, and then you hear like some sort of
Yeah,
weird
I like
cry,
to start all the shit.
and this is coming at you. So yeah, do what you're doing.
Okay, basically you can use this check if you want instead of whatever your check was. Is how that works with my counter performance. So, like I hear this and I'm like, uh what is the duck's favorite place to wipe? It's butt quack. And it's so bad that it just counter performances the thing. And that's the role you can choose to use. That's
Okay. So with that being the case, you are unaffected.
Saved by butt quack.
Yeah, saved by butt quack. Otherwise, the rest of you are confused, and I think.
Oh no, sir. Sorry, that's everybody. Everybody can choose to use that role should they want to.
Oh,
I thought I
With
succeeded.
my counter performance.
Yeah,
Let me double
you
check.
just said Braz did succeed, by the way.
right. Yeah, Braz did succeed. So Braz was already fine.
So I'm not confused.
Yeah, you're not confused.
Anybody within 60 feet of me can choose. Any ally
Any
within
ally?
60
Okay.
feet that has to roll this can use the better result.
Okay. Well, in that case, none of you are confused.
Yay!
But
Yay!
the two Fae in the room are confused.
I love this.
Well, to be fair, I'm pretty much always confused. But
Yeah, that's my secret. I'm always confused. This is a Tuesday for Braz.
everything's just a Tuesday for bras.
Everything's Tuesday. All right, so let's see. Let me go through and make sure the effect is off of everybody. 1 second. Used. Brush. Yeah, shouldn't have had that on you. Conquer. And Grotus. And Scorch. Okay. There we go. Let's see. And then the Brugadaches, what was their fail? Okay, so the Brugadach, that one. Okay, so one failed and one crit failed. Let's see, let me double.
Does the critical fail one just automatically die? Because that'd be cool and convenient.
That'd be so awesome.
Let's see. So confused. It looks like I'm just looking up how this. It works pretty much like how you've probably seen in other games. Confused makes it so that your target is randomly determined. And you are also off guard. So this does not apply to you guys. So both of these Brigadetches are off guard currently.
Oh shit, yeah, that's so good for me.
It's just like, I can feel stabbing coming on.
I mean, I usually just set shit on fire, so it doesn't really matter to me.
Okay, so we'll figure out that when we get to the Brigadetch's turn. So aside from the wololo that this bird just tried to do on y'all, let's see. It tries to strike at you, Maz, with its beak.
Wow, so rude.
I know.
I mean, you did stab it.
No,
No, I didn't.
Yeah, she didn't stab the bird. She stabbed the Brigadetch, so the
Okay,
north
well,
of her.
you stabbed the people that it was chilling with, so...
And she's also the only one in the room so far, so everyone else is just kind of chilling out here watching Maz commit violent crimes.
Someone
Yeah,
has
another
to.
Tuesday.
All right, so it pokes at you. Whew.
I don't like that. Take it back. Can I hero point this?
You cannot hero point damage being done to you.
No, I feel like that is like a major flaw in this game.
just hero points as free counter anything.
I don't like that roll you did, DM. Hero point.
Magic isn't real.
Your role personally offended me.
This feels like a targeted attack, and I feel very triggered right now.
This is not a safe space.
It's not a safe space. All right, so it jabs you pretty good with its beak here, and that brings us to Braz. Maz in front of you here just got stabbed by a bird. You haven't even like seen the bird yet. All you've seen is its beak around the side of the door, stabbing Maz.
That's horrifying. Maz, are you actually in the room or are you just standing in the doorway?
Yeah, I'm like right in the room.
Yeah, she's like kind of right there in the doorway.
I
Pretty
think
much.
I accidentally closed my map though.
Oh, here, I'll reshare it.
Okay, that's fine. You're fine where you're at.
Oh wait, no, I am kind of in the doorway then.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can get past each other. It's fine.
It's true. We're only like 3 feet
that
tall.
was more so just for this reaction.
Oh, okay.
Duck.
You know, that's
Light those bitches on fire.
the duck is very thematic given the butt quack earlier.
Okay, let's see. So, did I hit anybody?
Braz is just gonna roll right past that one.
I know, damn. Oof.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it. I was concentrating what you said.
I was saying the duck was very thematic given Honker's butt quack joke earlier.
That was not even on purpose.
All right, so you chuck alchemist fires in there.
Let's see. So
What's the radius on those? Okay, that does hit all of them. Okay, yeah.
yeah. Oh, and I have a feat, so I have a even bigger radius for my things. Okay. Well, they would all get splashed anyways.
Nice, nice.
And then which ones did I actually hit? I need to put my persistent fire on them.
Looks like all of them. It looks like. Oh wait, no, except for the which one's this one? I think it's the far one that missed. The other two did get hit, the bird and the other bird.
So the two by the door got hit?
Yeah, the two by the door got hit.
Okay.
So put it on those.
Okay, did that go on them? It did. Okay,
yes.
And then I'm gonna throw one more.
All right. A hit on the one by the door. Critical miss on the bird. And miss on the other one.
I think it's rolling damage on all of them, though.
Oh, looks like that's here. I'll get it sorted.
You know I'll get splash damage no matter what.
Yeah, I'll get it sorted. Okay. So that brings us to this Brigadach over here, who is confused. So let's see, how many targets do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I guess he only sees.
It'd be 3.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Well, he can see through the door, Braz. So 4. All right, so I'm gonna roll a d4. Well, 5, including himself, actually. So I'll roll.
That'd be attack.
Slap himself. Slap himself.
All right, so we'll roll a d6. 6 will be a reroll. 1 will be himself. 2 the bird. 3 his friend. 4 Maz. 5 Braz.
All right, thoughts and prayers.
4.
Ah!
All right, so
Door.
he.
There'd be some cool things.
Cool
I mean,
things,
there might
cool,
be.
cool stabbable things so far. Yeah, there might be. The chairs in here looked really nice, aside from the one that's a little torn up right now.
That one can be for Scorch.
So he moves up in his kind of confused fervor, arms flailing, and runs up and strikes at you, Maz, with his weird claw hands. Hits. All right, and he's confused, so that's him. And then the other one is critical fail, confused. And so he immediately attacks himself. So
That's really my favorite outcome that could have happened.
right.
Yeah, that's really beautiful and poetic.
All right, let me put that damage on him. All right. And they take some persistent bleed and honker. All right, so you made an excellent aviary joke. Everyone laughed. Everyone was saved. You're standing in the doorway on the porch out back.
Okay. So I'll use one action to move forward in here.
Okay.
Kind of get like right there by the door.
Yeah. And you come up to the door, you can see the Brigadach on the other side that was just going after Maz, and behind it you see a big fucking bird. Kind of blue. Never seen one before.
Oh.
Its beak is a little bloodstained.
So, alright, so then I will do it's a free action to do my lingering composition, and that'll use my both of my composition points. But
Okay.
so I'll roll performance here. Okay, before you set the DC, I got to do the lingering composition here. So, why did the duck get fired from work? Because he always quacked under pressure. And then, so we'll roll that.
Loving the duck jokes.
It's very thematic tonight.
I'm trying.
These
And then
jokes are driving me quackers.
hopefully we'll just keep on quacking here, and I'll inspire courage with that lingering composition to the party.
Yes, that is successful. So you said that makes it last how long?
Is it regular success or crit?
Let's see, 35. That would be a regular success.
So then I believe it's like 3 rounds. I'll double check.
Okay, that's still pretty good.
Yeah, it just means it frees up an action.
Yeah, it frees
of
you up
my
from having to
turn
recast.
for
Mm-hmm.
3 times. And then we will go ahead and upon hearing those jokes, my last action, it's just all the same bad joke. Is the Dirge of Doom, which will frighten the folks who could hear it by 1.
Okay. Scared and confused. They're just having a day in there.
Okay, that's honker, buffs, debuffs, bad joke, dad joke.
Yeah, I think you got the whole
How many
checklist.
jokes do you got?
Got a
I'm
whole...
honker, and then I kind of do my the old style exaggerated movement of my legs as I meander off stage.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
You
All
got
right.
it. There you go.
All right, so Grotus, in typical Grotus fashion, sees an open door, sees things beyond it, and decides to flying kick through the door over Maz's head into the room.
Okay, I'm pretty sure he can jump over 3 feet high.
Oh yeah, this is no problem. He has done this many times before, as we all have well seen.
Yeah, we're all really short.
Yeah. It makes it very convenient for lobbing roundhouse kicks because he doesn't have to avoid anything too much.
Yeah, I bet Grotus really likes
It's true. As goblins, we can share the same space as someone taller than us. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this all works out real nice. All right, and they are already off guard because of the confusion, and so let's see where is his stumbling strike to Brigadach here. Oh, why is he targeting himself? Okay. Critical on the Brigadach. Pow! Alright. Flying kick right into this confused, frightened Brigadach. And follows it up with a second attack for his third action. Oh, wait, they would have to roll the stun. Alright, they succeeded. They aren't also stunned. It would be funny to status effect the fuck out of them, though. Alright, his other attack misses. Okay. Which brings us to Scorch, who's standing happily in the door.
Yeah, the only other tallish member of the party. So he's gonna jump over in the room here. And we'll have him attack the top one.
Alright.
I think we're gonna go with some claws.
Alright. Manages to hit on the second swipe. Nice. Alright. Scorch putting out a little hurt. Which brings us to top of the order with Braz this time.
Yeah, damn it, I can't set shit on fire and there's people in the room.
Grotus can't hear you.
I'm gonna fart on my puppy into the room. I'm right next to Scorcher just so I don't get confused in the space.
But do you do a cool pole vault with your club over Maz to get into the room?
No.
Damn.
She just shoves me with her hip and barges into the room.
I like to stand in the corner and throw shit.
Alright.
So I'm gonna use my club. I don't want to, but buttholes went in the room. I love you all.
I mean, you're critical with the club, so that's pretty good. Double criticals. Braz just angrily beats
Man.
the fuck out of this thing.
I really wanted to light shit on fire, and I got angry.
The fire calms her down, you see.
I see. Understandable. All right. Well, brings us to the burb. All right. So the burb in the corner here. Grotus just came sailing in front of it. So we're gonna adjust its target here to him, and it pecks.
Something Grotus would probably say about chicken for dinner tonight.
You know, he probably would. Misses. Third attack here.
Well, honestly, if I'd have been able to kill it by fire, I would have said something like, "Who's for barbecue?"
Right. Okay. Honker, you're up.
I'm having an issue here with Fantasy Grounds. Give me a minute. Can I pass my turn for a little bit, or I don't
Yeah,
want to
that's
push
fine.
you out to the end of the round?
Yeah, no
just
worries.
a couple seconds.
All good. Okay. So, Honker will hold off for a moment. Which brings us to, let's see, this Fae. It was still confused. Let me do its roll here for that. Okay, it does manage to break out of its confusion. It is still frightened, though. So it just has one. And it attempts to...
Isn't it enfeebled as well?
Well, from what?
Is it the one I've been attacking?
The one you've been attacking is the one to the north of you, or northeast of you.
This
Sorry.
is the one that came from across the room.
Yeah, this is the one that was in the
Alright.
other corner of the room.
Ignore me then.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So, for its other action that it still has, it grabs at you, Maz, since it successfully did hit you last time. So you are currently grabbed.
Rude.
No. And then the other Brugdatch up here, which was the critical fail confusion one. Let's see if it gets out of the confusion. Oops, come on. Roll the dice. It does not. It is still confused, so I have to randomly determine its target. So we see we have within range of it. 1,
also still
2,
bleeding on
3,
fire.
4, 5, 6. Yeah, it is still bleeding. This is the one that Maz kind of gutted a bit, so it's having a day.
And I set it on fire.
That's true. All right, so we have 7 targets. Or 7 targets. So I'm going to roll a d8. 8 will be a reroll. 1 will be itself. 2 Maz. 3 Scorch. 4 Braz. 5 its friend. 6 the bird. 7 Grotus. 4 Scorch. All right, so he attacks at Scorch with his claws. Make sure the target is correct.
Yeah, please don't attack me again.
All right, attacking at Scorch, and they miss. Honker, is your fantasy grounds back to normal, or are you still
Because
having
he's
trouble?
weak from all the blood loss and being on fire.
Oh yeah, I'm ready to fuck shit up.
Ready to go? Okay, let's go ahead and do Honker's turn then. What you doing?
Getting oriented here. Okay. Can I see any of them? Can I see like that one medium fey that's like by
Yeah.
Scorch?
Yeah, you
Okay,
can see the medium fey that's to the south of Scorch. You can also see the weird big blue bird behind him.
okay. Oh, I can see the bird.
Yeah, the bird's pretty tall.
Has it done anything yet?
It's
It did
attacked
attack
me.
Maz, and it did attack at Rotus.
Okay.
And it
So
also
I
did the weird
will.
song.
Okay, I'll do the Dirge of Doom. I'll keep that going. So
Okay.
when that fades off of them, I'll put that on them, and then I'll do a chill touch on the fey that's messing with Scourge or Scorch.
Okay. It fails its save. Does that just do additional damage on a failure, or does that have other effects?
I'm looking really quick. Fails. It just means it does full damage.
Nice. All right, roll them up. Nice.
There you go.
All right.
That's my turn.
That's the turn. Okay. Brings us to Maz.
Okay.
Okay, the medium fey. Which one is this? This is.
I think that's the one on the top there that was on
Yeah,
fire,
looks like the.
bleeding.
Yeah, that one looks like that bleed damage took it out.
Good. Good.
Yep, that was the one. Okay, so that one falls to the ground. So yeah, there's the one to the southeast of you, and then the bird behind that.
Maz is going to actually spend an action healing herself.
Okay. Just doing like a medicine check.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you do your war medicine. That is a critical success. Nice. Go ahead and roll the 4d8 plus 5.
So 20. That helps.
Nice. Yeah, go ahead and apply that to yourself. Got 2 other actions.
Yeah. I'm also going to consume a healing potion, lesser.
Okay.
Which is 2d8 plus 5.
All right, go ahead and roll the 2d8s for those.
16.
Nice.
Sorry, I just got very hort.
Yeah, they were fucking you up a little bit there.
Okay.
All right, last action. What are you doing?
For my last action, I am going to come in here and position myself between Scorch and Grotus.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right, Grotus. Let's see. Grotus is going to continue. Well, Grotus would notice that this guy is a little confused or kind of off guard from that. So, let's see. Oop, gotta get the sheet back up here. Stumbling strikes on that guy. Misses. And say it doesn't hit, so we just would be another attack. Misses. Damn. Oh, those are 2s, that's why. 2, 2, and a 5. Oof. Rough turn for Grotus. Scorch.
Okay. We'll have Scorch turn to the other face since the other one's dead, and we'll attack with some claws again.
All right. That's a hit. All right. Scorch begins chomping. All right, got at least one in there. All right, top of the order with the burb, which, let's see here. Does this have, let's see. All right, the bird lets out another olululu.
Rude.
So, let's see. With the roll that you guys had last time, let's see, so that would have been... Oh yeah, that other effect should have worn off by now. For the immunity.
Oh, hold on, they should all be frightened one. Let me put that on them. And everybody should have my courage thing on them. I'll sort that out real quick.
Right. Okay, so let me make sure everybody's targets. So we got Grotus, we got Maz, we got the other Fae, we got Scorch, we got Braz, we got Honker. Okay. Let's see what we got in here. Okay, the Fae succeeds. Scorch fails. Braz crit fails. Grotus succeeds. Maz fails. Does your counter performance thing, is that like have like a limited use, or is that something you
No,
can still do?
it's just that one time. If
Just-
I had, yeah, I can't do it until we get a 10-minute break. And my fantasy grounds just took a shit on me again anyway. I don't know what's up.
All right, we'll let you get that sorted out there. So let's see. So it's not target. Grotus. Everybody else except for the Fae. So. There we go. Maz, Braz, M. Hunker, Scorch.
No, it didn't do it to Honker. There's no roll from Honker.
Oh, I think that's because of the issue that Fantasy Grounds is having for quick. Hold on. I can roll the will save. Okay, Hunker's will save is a 20 for the Ululua, which would have been a fail. So everybody except for Grotus and the other one.
Wouldn't it be a critical fail? Because I had a 22 and critically failed.
Oh, wait, yeah, you're right. That's right. It's a DC 32. That is a critical fail. Okay, so Honker and Braz both critically confused. And Maz and Scorch are regular confused. So we will get to that now. So Grotus is up first. Not confused. It's right. Grotus was fine. Grotus was fine and not confused. You guys are all kind of flailing about madly here after this weird song. Grotus decides to punch a bird.
As one does.
Song is weird. Doesn't like it. Bird punch. Misses. Damn. These rolls are not being kind to Grotus today. He isn't confused, but he's still missing anyway. All right, Braz.
Character knows that you're not really Sam.
He does. All right, so stuff that's in melee range of you is yourself and Scorch and Maz. So roll
Those I hold
me.
dearest.
Hmm.
Those I hold dearest.
I know. So you're gonna roll me a d4. So 1 is gonna be yourself, 2 is Scorch, 3 is Maz, 4 will reroll. Okay, roll me another one. Yourself. All right. In a selfless
The outcome
act,
I would prefer.
selfless act of confusion, you decide to bonk yourself with your own club. Go ahead and roll your club damage on yourself. Bonk. All right. And also give me roll me another will save to see if the effect gets off you. Not yet. All right, so that is your turn. Maz is also confused.
Whee!
Roll me up or see, you have a lot of stuff in range. We have 1 is yourself, 2 is Braz, 3 is Scorch, 4 is the Brugadatch, 5 is Grotus, and 6 will reroll. So you roll me a d6. All right, you're poking Grotus.
Well, he's a little tanky, so that's probably the best case scenario aside from the Fae.
You're probably right.
But
All right, so go ahead and roll me up just a regular damage from your melee weapon on Grotus.
Okay. Can I make it my dagger? Or does it have to be my rapier?
Let's see. You don't underwhat's about you. You don't treat anyone as your ally. You. And it doesn't specifically say which weapon. I guess that's true.
I mean, I think it's kind of your decision if
Yeah,
it has to
that
be the
is.
one in my hand or not.
That's true. That is kind of on me. Okay. In that case, I mean, you don't currently consider anybody your ally because of your confusion, so I don't think you would be like, "Oh, I'm going to do the thing that does less damage."
I know.
So,
But it was worth asking.
yeah. All right. So yeah, roll your typical damage for the melee weapon currently in your hand on Grotus. All right, 17. I'll get that on him. Okay. And then at the last, give me a will save. We'll see if that expires the confusion on you. All right, you are no longer confused.
Woo.
So the clouds in your mind fade. The Fae, which was not confused, decides to lay into Scorch. With the claws. Woo!
oh man, Scorch is confused. This is going to be where my answer for the question at the beginning is going to come back and bite me.
Oh no. All right.
Probably literally.
All right, Honker, you are confused. Let's see. Stuff in range of you is yourself and Scorch and the Brugadatch, I would say. So go ahead and roll me a d4. With 1 being you, 2 being Scorch, 3 being the Brigadatch, and 4 will reroll. Alright, roll me another one. Alright, Scorch. Go ahead and roll your bowling pin damage on Scorch.
Dude, I don't know what happened. Fantasy Grounds just fucking crashed on me again.
Did it again? Okay, I'll take care of it for you.
Yeah,
I got
go
you.
ahead and roll the. Yeah.
I got you. Let's see. Let's see. Juggling Club. There it is. Oh, why is... Oh, that's right. You're still targeting everybody from your other thing. Let me fix that.
Ow.
I'm always targeting the party because I usually just
I know.
helping them.
Yeah, I'll just manually fix this instead of changing all your targets. Let's see. So let's put that back down. 25. So Scorch is one will leave. All right, and then I'll give you your will save to break out of the confusion. You do. All right, you are no longer confused. The fog clears from your mind. And you think about what you've done to Scorch.
I don't think he cares.
All right, Scorch is confused. And let's see what we got. So 1 is himself. 2 Honker, 3 Braz, 4 Maz, 5 Grotus, 6 the Fae. That's nice. We can just have a solid dice this time. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's Maz.
No,
Ow.
you're supposed to be me.
It should have been me, not him.
I feel like Scorch deserves to bite me for my comments earlier.
All right, so Scorch. Get this targeted properly. Gives the old chompy chomp at Maz here.
Oh, sorry. I guess I could roll that.
Oh, that's right. My bad. I got that.
You control this damn thing. I can do the will
Oh, good. Okay, go ahead and give me the will save then for Scorch.
Sorry, I just sucked as a player there.
That's all good. All right, Scorch is still confused. Let's see what we got. All right.
To be fair, Moo is currently controlling half the party.
All right.
Actually.
All right, the medium beast here. Let me take off the party targets for the warble song. Okay. Continues going back after Garotus here. With a peck. A diggity.
Ow!
That is a hurtful peck. Misses. And misses. Okay. Maz is not confused.
Correct.
What you doing?
I'm getting real tired of this bird.
Hmm.
Kebab him.
So I'm gonna attack with my rapier.
All right. Stabbity stab. Nice. All right. The shish kebabbing begins. Hey, another hit. All right, you're laying into this thing, poking little holes. One more strike. Nothing. Damn. Still, 2 good hits. All right, Grotus is not confused, and he is also tired of the bird. Stumbling strike. With a hit. Let's go. Nice. Okay, and the bird for the stun fails the roll and is stunned. And Grotus goes into the next stumbling strike with a critical. Very nice. Finishing it up with a miss. But good output there. Honker, what am I doing for you?
Hey, I'm in. It's working. It's
Oh,
working.
wait.
I
Oh,
got
you're
it.
in. You're back. Okay, nice.
Before that, because Grotus attacked the bird that I'm attacking, I can make a strike.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Or my opportune backstab.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, if you have like friends attacking shit. Right. Okay, go ahead and roll your opportune backstab then, and then we'll get to Honker.
It doesn't say what to do, it just says make a strike.
So just like roll your attack. So you just get another. You get like a.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. Cool. Okay, so now Honker.
I keep forgetting I have that.
You got a lot of good stabby things in your pockets.
All right.
Like knives.
So I'll be like, how do you like it? Why don't ducks ever make good stand-up comedians? Because their jokes are always foul.
Thought you were gonna say because they quack under pressure.
We did that one. That would be terrible, terrible. I should start doing that.
All right, it fails.
Nice. Now it's confused, little bastard.
Oh man.
Well, that means it's gonna be vulnerable to Grotus and I.
Yeah, that's true. That makes it off guard.
And then the usual inspired courage. That's my turn.
Okay. Braz, you're up.
Aren't I still confused?
You are not.
Oh. Oh, look at that. Okay. I don't know why I thought I was. Oh no, Scorch is the one that's still confused.
Scorch is the one that's still confused, yeah.
Okay. I'll attack the medium Fey. I'm kind of sharing Scorch's space there.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't worry too much about the space you guys all share with each other. It's fine.
We're all so little.
Ooh, another crit. Hot damn. Braz is stealing all the real good rolls. Whoo, all right.
His rolls went.
Yeah, that's where Curtis's rolls went. Yeah, right.
Okay, and I guess since Yuck Boy's gone, I don't want to be near the bird. No, I'm not going to move up. I'm actually going to move back.
Just gonna get behind the couch.
I do not want to be near that bird.
All right. Scorch is still confused. And in melee range of him, so we got Honker, himself, Maz, Gross, we got 5. 1 himself, 2 Honker, 3 Maz, 4 Grotus, 5 the Burb, 6 will reroll. That's Grotus.
Grotus, okay.
Oh, you know, make sure to on-target Maz, because Maz is still targeted from last time. There we go. Just do like a regular jaws or claws, whichever.
Oh, I think we've been doing the claws, so I'll do that one.
Yeah, whichever. Doesn't matter.
I'm sorry, Grotus.
I mean, at least you rolled a 1.
Luckily, not a lot of damage.
Yeah. All right, and then give me a will save. Ooh. Scorch is still a confused little boy.
He's just a little guy. Help him.
Help him.
We say that, but I'm pretty sure Scorch is bigger than us.
Yeah, but in his blame, he's just a little guy.
He's a small little baby.
All right, so the bird, seeing that the other two Brugadetches are dead, and you guys have been wailing on it a bit, it kind of lets out a little squawk and tries to run away out the door past Scorch. And so it kind of tries to, let's see, let me do a strength. Tries to push past.
Even if it's confused?
Oh, that's right. It's confused. That's right. I forgot about Grotus's, or not Grotus, Honker's confusion.
Yeah.
So
eat a bag of honkers, you fucking bird.
Let's see. It was that was a regular fail, I think it was, right? So it's just regular confused. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So with that, it would be 1 itself, 2 Scorch, 3 Moz, 4 Grotus. So I'll roll a d4. Grotus.
Okay, man, it's just a punching bag with this confusion.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's good.
That's how it works.
Oh yeah, I just noticed Grotus is pretty hurt.
All right. Honker. Your confusion is just messed with the bird. What are you doing?
Oh man. Okay, so this time, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try. I'm just gonna be like, oh man. Man, I'm too stoned to come up with another one-liner. But imagine it's so terrible that it deals psychic damage to him.
All right, go ahead and roll it in.
Blistering invective.
And it fails.
To the bird.
I'm kind of disappointed that we didn't get another duck joke.
Wait, I'm looking.
Oh, okay. We got support from the party. Comedy support. The clowns are being sent in.
Okay, so I deal that, and then that's persistent damage to him.
Nice.
Okay.
And what's the DC on the confusion for what you cast? Because it
29.
has 29. Okay, so it needs to do a will save. Let's see. Will it rolls a 34. Okay, so it does break out of the confusion. Okay, so we got the persistent damage from that. Is that everything for you, Honker, I think?
Oh, and then, of course, that will inspire courage amongst my friends.
Of course. Naturally.
That's my turn.
Okay. Maz, you're up.
What's the duck's favorite part of the news?
Hmm.
The weather forecast.
That's pretty good.
I was trying to find ones that didn't involve quack instead of crack, and it's very difficult.
Yeah, and that's what made it so much worse than the rest, because you broke the theme, and that's what made this joke land even worse, and hurt the bird in a psychic way.
Yeah.
It's never gonna recover.
It was expecting thematic consistency in the comedy program, but there was none. All right, so Maz, you're up.
Maz is gonna keep stabbing this bird.
Seems like a good plan.
Because she's just sick of his ugly little face.
Nice. All right. This thing is not looking too hot. Can Maz clinch it out? No.
put everything into the first one.
All right, Scorch is up and still confused. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 roll. All right. The bird. All right.
Noise. Okay.
So in its confusion, okay, bird's targeted, so you should be. Wait, let me get Grotus off of him.
I gotta untarget Grotus though.
I fixed it. You're good. You're on the bird.
Okay.
Roll him up the damage.
Yeah.
All right. Scorch, in his confusion, knows that
the
there is a
goodest
bird,
boy.
was a good boy, and knew that there was a big chicken.
He was hungry.
He was. All right, and the room is now empty, aside from the things you just killed and the other furniture. Do you guys look around in here at all?
First, I'm gonna do some medicine on Maz and Grotus.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's do some heals.
Maz is gonna collect some feathers from the bird and put them in her sack.
Okay. All right. So Braz, that is a critical success. So go ahead and roll the 48 plus 5.
23.
All right. And who were those two for?
Maz
and Grotus.
Maz and Grotus. Okay, I'll fix Grotus.
So that'd be...
Scorch and I aren't hurt very bad. We're fine.
Okay. Miles, were you doing any as well?
Yeah, I'll do some on Grotus.
Yep. All right,
Or not.
That's just a regular success. So just 2d8 plus 5. All right, 12, and that's to Grotus and who? You, Scorch, Grotus, and Braz are the damaged ones.
I have the least.
Yeah, Grotus and Scorch.
Grotus and Scorch? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I'm gonna look around the room.
Okay. All right, so you look around in here. And let's see here. So, most of the furnishings in here seem to be pretty nice upscale. Like, it seems like, given the sign on the door, this was kind of the, this whole upper floor here was like the private quarters of the owners. In the end table by the couch in the northeast corner, you find a couple things. You find a golden key. And you find a vial that is shaped like a gourd, like it's like a glass gourd. It has a stopper in it, and there is some sort of liquid in there. You're not sure what it is, but it is filled with something.
Okay. She gives it to Braz, and she's like, "You have any idea what this is?"
Let me take a look.
Okay. Yeah, pop off the top, take a look at it, examine it chemically.
Yep.
Okay. So you pop off the top. It smells like pumpkins. But you do some. Give me an Arcana, I believe, for your alchemical stuff. Oh wait, sorry. This would be. I guess for this would be. We'll say medicine for this one. Do medicine.
Oh, good. I'm much better at that.
Okay. This is a greater elixir of life. So it's a potion. Accelerates the body's healing processes. Upon drinking this elixir, you will regain the listed number of hit points, which is 7d6 plus 18 hit points. And it gives you an item bonus to saving throws, a +2 bonus for like 10 minutes after you drink it. So, heck of a...
That's a good find.
Yeah, heck of a juice.
Someone should
gold
definitely
egg.
hang on to that.
Yeah, so that is in there. That's the Elixir of Life Greater in the party sheet, and then the glass gourd vial is the container it was in, or still is in. You haven't chugged it, obviously. And then there's the gold key. But otherwise, it's just the couches.
Well, you think we should take a look in the next room?
I mean, I'd like to take a nap, but yeah, I suppose we probably should.
Okay, so Maz is gonna...
I mean, you guys can take like try to take like a short rest in this room if you like.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, that might be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, here, I'll roll up a short rest on us then. Menu rest.
Sweet.
Chilling
I
on the
spend time telling you guys bad jokes so that I get my bard points back.
What's the theme of your jokes? Is it more duck jokes?
No, it's bird jokes in general, like, but not just duck jokes.
love
I
it.
try to expand out, and I fail.
I was looking up because I can't remember the last time we actually took like a short rest. Like just a regular short rest.
We're not really good at remembering to take rests.
Yeah, because it
It
works a
doesn't
little
give you
different.
much in Pathfinder.
Yeah, it works different in
It gives you
Pathfinder.
your points, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it looks like you regain some hit points equal to your... Wait, no, that's a long rest I'm looking at. Looks like there's like activities you can do. Oh wait, no, I guess we kind of have, because like I think those like the out of combat like medicine checks are kind of like a exploration mode activity or something like that, I think. But anyways, okay, so you guys rest a little bit. On the comfy chairs in here. They are very nice. Very luxurious. And you don't hear anything else while you're up here. Like nothing else. You don't hear anything moving around or anything while you guys are chilling in this parlor.
Okay.
When we're done,
Mm-hmm.
we take these comfy chairs and put them in the bag of holding.
All right.
Yeah, we do.
Hell yeah, furnishings.
We're refurnishing the circus.
Yep,
I mean, you
they
have all
got
the
lost by the
supplies.
strange fey creatures. They stole them, probably.
We're just recycling. We're saving the earth.
Yeah, this is
Gaia Warriors.
in the
Hashtag.
all right. So you guys heading down the hallway, it sounds like?
Yeah. And we'll take the next door on the right.
Okay. So this room, you take a look in here, and this just appears to be a nice bedroom. It looks a little bit trashed, but there's nothing in here right now. There's a big bureau against the wall that you open and has some nice looking clothes. Any hats? There probably are some hats in there, but it doesn't mention anything specific. You do notice, like if you grab one of the hats off of there, you see that these clothes, while they look really fancy, the material's kind of shit. Like it's very like kind of theater fancy in a way where it's not maybe not the craziest quality, but it's very extravagant looking. And of course, there's other paintings on the walls as well that have been kind of defaced a bit by probably some of these Brugadach creatures, but otherwise nothing too particularly notable in here.
Okay. Maz is gonna go towards the end of the hall then.
All right. You take a look at the last door down here. It is locked.
She tries the golden key.
All right. The golden key, it does work. The lock clicks, and you're able to open the door.
She makes sure to hold on to the golden key because she thinks it's cool.
That is fair. All right. So in here, you see this is a library, and there's a number of bookshelves along the walls filled with a variety of books. There is a kind of desk in the corner, kind of a reading desk with a chair. And you see like various parchments and magical diagrams and things hanging on the walls. You do notice in particular from some of the paintings in here and also like the painting that was in the bedroom, a lot of these paintings are like depicting like fae scenes. It seems like the owners of this place had been kind of fascinated with the fae. And there are markings on the floor surrounded by various burnt plants and flowers and mushrooms.
Okay. Um. She
I like it.
You look at okay. Are you investigating the ritual circle with your lick?
Yeah.
I roll an occultism check.
Sure, you can roll that, and then Honker, you can do a nature check.
I would argue by licking that it's clown lore. Sure,
All right.
let me drop a hard 7 on that licking fucking floor, buddy.
The floor tastes like wood, so much like yourself. Moz, you
Mom,
take.
it tastes like me. If you like here, and I'm like trying to shove my hand in her mouth.
Keep your fingers away. I don't know where they've been.
Like we're both struggling because like my other hand's trying to get her to lick the floor as well at the same time. Eventually, I get the point and fuck off to the corner.
So, Maz, with your role there, you recognize that this appears to have been the components for a primal call ritual. And note that the components that were part of it are expended, thus all the burnt plant matter and whatnot. And with the roll that you got, you also particularly notice that this is a slight variant of a typical primal call ritual that is designed to only call one specific type of fae and bind that fae to a location.
Okay. Do I know what type of fae or just a fae TM?
Just like I guess you assume, given the context of everything you run into, probably these Brugadach creatures.
Okay. I relay that information to the rest of the party, and you said there were like magical diagrams and shit, right?
Yeah, so like there's all these books, of course, on the shelves, but also on the floor. You see some diagrams, and there's a large open book nearby. And you recall, when you guys were still back in town before you headed out here, the gal in charge of the temple that had mentioned that the Caristers had not been seen for a bit. They had a book, a large book, when they were talking about like, oh, we're gonna solve everything.
Okay. Maz is gonna take the diagrams and the book that has clearly been used. She assumes that's the book that they used for this diagram. She wouldn't know, she can't read. Um, but
There are some nice pictures.
I know that's why she was looking at the diagrams. But yeah, she assumes because it's open it was used. And she kind of wants to make sure their butts are covered when they have to tell the rest of the town that the people are dead.
So the pictures that you can see in here, you see pictures of these Brugadach creatures, and then also pictures of like a sumptuous buffet, and stuff like that. And you see, there's notes about these creatures, and then looks like some other like handwritten notes that are in here, but you can't read them yourself. But the pictures are nice.
She's gonna holding each half of the book with her hands to the open page. She's going to shove the book in Braz's face, probably slightly hitting her in the face, and be like, "Can you read this? Does it say anything about like how to kill these stupid things or like what to do?"
I'll take a look at it.
All right. So, Braz, you take a look over this book. And so, along accompanying the lovely pictures of these Brugadachs, you see some information about them, uh, which seems to be, whoever wrote this book, the author's notes about Brugadachs being uh, Fae from the first world, which you assume is some other Fae plane, and that they are, able to uh, conjure amazing things with their mere thoughts. And you assume, with this diagram of the stuff below it about the feasts and stuff, um, there may have been some assumption that they were going to just conjure a bunch of food and everything was going to be fine. The notes, the handwritten notes that you see in here, there's two different handwritings. One of them has a few notes about suggesting some modifications to a ritual, because it also goes into detail about like a ritual call for calling fey creatures from another plane in the book. And there's notes about modifying the ritual to like specifically target just the one creature, and then notes in another hand that has looks like a checklist of various plants, um, to use as part of the components. And it also contains instructions on how to reverse the ritual, but it doesn't really go into detail about what exactly reversing it does. But it just says that it's a reverse spell, and gives the details for that.
I will relay all that to everybody.
I mean, do we want to try and reverse it, or do we want to just keep looking for things to kill? But I guess if we kill all the things, what's to say that this isn't like an open portal that they could just come through at any time?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
In terms of what you see in the checklist of what it would take to reverse the ritual, it says that it requires 2 lily pads, a handful of buttercup flowers, willow bark, and blood from a Brugadach, and then it says some precious stones, like a.
Well, I've got all that in my pocket here. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
and there's
think so.
definitely plenty of Brugadach blood from the stuff that you guys have poked recently. You probably have some
Yeah.
on you.
Maz
There's
is
some in my
gonna
mouth.
run into the room where we just killed 2 of them, and she used a health potion, if you remember, so she has the empty bottle from that.
That's true.
So she's gonna run to one of them and like essentially like use her dagger to bleed it into the bottle until she has a good amount of blood, and then corks it up and runs back into the room holding the bottle up, really proud of herself, and she's like,
All right. And the other things, like, you guys have seen kind of around the area, like there were some lily pads out in the pond in the front. You know, there were some buttercup flowers planted outside, willow bark on nearby trees. So these other things you were all able to find um, or have on your person. So before we get into the reversing of the ritual here, we're going to call that good for today and pick up with that next time.
Nice, man. Thanks for running tonight for us. It was a good game.
Yeah.
Got a little buck wild at times.
Doesn't it
Yeah.
always?
That's what happens when Grotus isn't here.
This is true.
I'm sure he thinks that we're just very boring normally. Well, me and Braz maybe. And then when he's not even here.
All right.
Instead, he's not the dad we deserve. He's the dad we need.
The daddy stepped up. All right. Well, we will see you guys next time then.
Okay.
All right, talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Those of you out there watching, thanks for coming. And let's see who we got on. Missy is on. What are they doing? Nina Aquila, legal something? I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that before. Let's go find out.